Hey guys, welcome to a whole new episode in this series. This is called Extra, and today we're going to be talking about my personal favorite books in investing. I'm going to go through a little bit of a top five here. The first one not necessarily being my favorite and going down that way, but just a top five in general of the five books I appreciate the most and I use the most regularly on a day-to-day basis. Now, the first book I want to talk to you about is called Get Rich with Dividends. This is a book written by Mark Lichtenfeld, and this talks about basically dividend stocks, dividend investing. And if you know the videos I make by now, you obviously know that I am very, very focused on dividend investing and that I love dividends. So this was a book that was very intriguing to me, and I wanted to know what he was talking about. So he talks about the power of compounding. He talks about different metrics you can use in order to choose high quality dividend stocks. And he also goes through a method he came up with called the 10-11-12 method. And this is a method to grow wealth, exponentially using compounding and choosing specific metrics concerning dividend stocks. So I'm going to make another video concerning the 10-11-12 method separately here. But if you want to check that book out, it's definitely a recommend on my part. It's a short book. It's a very practical book. There are a lot of examples into it. When you finish a chapter, you definitely grasp the concept he was trying to get through in that chapter. Definitely, it's a very easy to understand book. So it goes fairly quickly if you want to read through it. It took me, I think, a day and a half, not even. So that first book. So I'm going to put links in the description down below. If you guys want to check out these books, you can, and I'm going to leave them there for further videos. So if you guys want to go back to these books, you can definitely check these out. There is a link just down in the description below. The second book I'm going to talk to you about is The Neatest Little Guide to Stock Market Investing. This is written by Jason Kelly. This I use as a reference very, very often. It contains many definitions, many terms. I think the most important chapter in this book, again, a short book, I think it's about 200 pages, much like the Get Rich with Dividends. I think the most important chapter in this book is the first one. It's entitled, I think it's How to Evaluate Stocks, or how to give value to a stock. And you go through these different metrics on every single stock, and it's a great way to learn about how to value different stocks. So again, a very, very practical book. I think there's a chapter in there as well on brokers. He goes through different electronic or online brokers and what they are and how they differ one another, what the fees are and all that. So again, very practical, very hands-on, a very good reference to have on the corner of your desk. You want to go look through it. If you have a question, it just takes 2 seconds and there you are. So yeah, great little book. And this follows up very well with the third book I'm going to talk to you about. This is The Intelligent Investor. Now this is obviously a classic. This is written by Benjamin Graham. This is a little longer book. It's about 650 or 700 pages even, I think. And if you don't know who Benjamin Graham is, Benjamin Graham was one of Warren Buffett's university professors. So I think that pretty much says it all. He's known as the father of value investing. Now, for those of you who don't know what value investing is, I'm going to do a video on that as well in basic investment terms, so you can go check that out. But value investing is basically concentrating on not losing money. That might sound stupid, but it's not. It's just you want to evaluate stocks using maybe something you've learned in the Neatest Little book, Neatest Little Guide to Stock Market Investing. You want to evaluate stocks and make sure that they are undervalued as at the moment you buy them. So you want to buy them on the cheap, all right? Sort of like saying you want to buy underappreciated stocks, all right? So that is value investing. And I think this is a must-have and definitely a must-read for any serious investor out there. So again, I'm not going to go through it in too many details here, but a must-read and a must-have for every single investor out there. Now, the fourth book I'm going to talk to you about is a little different. The fourth book is called Thinking Fast and Slow. This is a book written by Daniel Kahneman. He won the Nobel Prize in Economics back in 2002 or 2006. Yes, 2002. So he talks about This book is a little different, but bear with me. He talks about the relationship between our minds and statistics. Now, he concentrates on decision making. That's what he does. And this book is very, very interesting. It talks about the cognitive biases that we go through when analyzing statistics, when analyzing numbers, series, tendencies, associations, everything like that. Because God knows there are a lot of associations that can be made when analyzing the stock market. And we want to know what our brain is trying to tell us and if it is trying to trick us. And we have to be aware of that. And this is a very, very interesting book, guys. Probably out of all these books, maybe the most difficult to read, I'm not gonna lie. But again, many examples all throughout this book. I think one of them is about, there's a study demonstrating that people who live in Midwestern US or in the west of the United States, in Republican states, and in very rural areas have a tendency to have lower incidences of I think it's kidney cancer or something like that, or bladder cancer, or anyways, I don't remember, but there's a less of a certain type of cancer in that population. And he asks you what you think about that, and you go through these steps of why you're thinking the way you're thinking about that statistics, and what kind of thinking you're analyzing, and so it's very, very important to know how your brain works and how you analyze numbers in order for it not to trick you into making false assumptions and false associations. So a very, very profound book. Again, very interesting. Now, the last book I'm going to talk to you about is called The Wealthy Barber. Again, a very easy book. It's written by David Chilton. I think the first version goes back all the way to 1990 or 1989, I think even. But he just basically talks about personal financial strategies, either on the budget side, on the investment side. He also talks about what kind of investments you can do, why is it important to keep a will even if you're single, why it's important to diversify your portfolio, to pay yourself first when you're doing your budget, when you're doing your finances, and he talks about plans for retirement as well, and how to make the most out of your home. So again, just an all-around very good strategy book that you can go read. It's an easy read, again, not very complicated, a lot of examples as well, a lot of scenarios, so it's very easy to follow and easy to put yourself into the shoes of somebody that's in that book. So these are my personal favorite books, guys. The ones that I use, the ones that I gained the most knowledge from, I would say are these 5 books. So I definitely recommend that you guys go out there, check out these books, get educated, get knowledge from these books, and you can go back to these books, especially the Neatest Little Guide to Stock Market Investing. That can serve as a very good reference, to keep. It's almost like a back pocket sized book. So you guys can keep that book with you and definitely look up any single term that you want if you don't know what it means, or have questions when you're analyzing a stock, when you're analyzing metrics. Definitely a great book for that. But all around, these books have helped me a lot, and I hope they will help you as well. So again, I'm leaving a description down below that contains links to all of these books. You can go check these out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And for those of you who want to be advised or notified as soon as a video comes out, you guys can check out my Twitter. Have a good one, guys.